Bavaria, October 1944. In a cold hangar at the Rechlin Test Center, Ober-engineer Franz Hartmann faced a prize and a warning: a North American P-51 Mustang, forced down 3 days earlier. The pilot was a prisoner. The airframe was intact. For intelligence, that meant gold. For months, Luftwaffe pilots had cursed this new escort fighter. It ran with the American B-17 and B-24 formations all the way to Berlin and back. Range that seemed impossible, speed that felt unfair, agility that humiliated aces. Hartmann had read the reports. He trusted numbers more than fear. Today, he would touch the numbers. He circled the Mustang with a notebook in hand. The lines were clean. The metal skin was smooth. Riveting was uniform. No crude shortcuts. No signs of desperate substitutions. The cockpit was well laid out. Radios modern. Visibility excellent. A pilot's airplane, built for long missions and quick decisions. But engines tell the truth. He and 2 assistants lifted the cowling. A V-12. Liquid-cooled. Supercharger mounted low at the rear. Familiar. He had seen this arrangement in British drawings before the war. Rolls-Royce Merlin. He checked the casting marks. He found a plate. Packard Motor Car Company. Detroit, Michigan. He stared at the stamp. British design. American production. 1 engine. 2 nations. 1 purpose. That realization hurt more than the cold. The technical audit began. The supercharger was 2-stage and 2-speed. It kept power at high altitude, where bomber battles lived and died. The plumbing was clean, the tolerances tight. Parts looked interchangeable, not hand-fitted. The fasteners matched American standards. Drawings had clearly been converted from British practice to American mass production. His assistant ran a hand along the cylinder banks. Every surface precise. Every edge finished. Unlimited access to high-grade aluminum and alloy steels had left its mark. He thought of Daimler-Benz production, of the DB-605, of the shortcuts forced by shortages and bombing. He wrote without emotion. The American copy is not a copy. It is a refined series engine built for volume and reliability. Hartmann requested production data. Packard had been licensed in 1940. Britain had shipped full drawings, test procedures, and materials specs. America had answered with jigs, gauges, and round-the-clock shifts. By 1944, Packard was building more than 2,000 Merlins per month, with plans to increase. 1 company, 1 engine, a tidal force. The implications multiplied. The same Merlin powered Spitfires, Mosquitoes, and Lancasters. 1 design. Many airframes. Maintenance simplified. Spares standardized. Training unified. The Allies had made the engine the center of a system. The Mustang itself explained the rest. A laminar flow wing reduced drag. Self-sealing tanks and external drop tanks gave reach. The Merlin gave altitude performance. Together, they made a fighter that could fight hard, far from home, and then fight again on the way back. A combat radius over 1,000 miles. German interceptors could not stay with it for long. And when fuel ran low, the Mustang still had speed to go. He noted fuel quality. American 100-octane and later 150 grade when available opened boost margins the Germans could not match. Allied engines ran harder, longer. Overhauls at 200 hours were common. Late-war German engines often needed major work in half that time. War eats the weak point. For Germany, that weak point was industry. He sent his report. 47 pages. Technical drawings, measured praise. A clear conclusion. British engineering plus American production equals strategic dominance. The reply was a shrug. Continue current procedures. Informal channels brought the real reaction. He is defeatist. Our jets will decide the air war. The Messerschmitt Me-262 became the new hope. But hope is not a production plan. The months proved his fears. More Mustangs arrived, not fewer. German losses rose. Aces died and were not replaced. Replacement pilots flew into combat with too few hours and too little fuel. North American aviation was turning out more than 500 P-51s per month. Total Mustang production would pass 15,000. Packard's Merlin total would exceed 55,000. Allied aircraft output soared into the hundreds of thousands. Germany struggled to keep factories standing, let alone stocked. After the war, an American technical officer asked Hartmann what he had truly concluded that day at Rechlin. Hartmann answered carefully. We could not win an industrial war against an Anglo-American partnership. The Merlin in that Mustang was not a machine. It was a contract of trust. Why did that partnership work? Britain trusted America with its best design. America trusted Britain's test data and accepted British changes in the field. Engineers on both sides spoke one language, the language of tolerances, stresses, and failure rates. Trust turned drawings into output. Output turned strategy into victory. In the end, the Mustang's secret was not merely horsepower. It was the alliance built into the engine bay. A British idea, perfected for mass production in Detroit, mounted in an American airframe, flown in a common cause. That is how range becomes reach, and how reach becomes dominance.